Certainly a game of two halves, that's for sure. And then when I start to think about the whole overall performance, as soon as you see the result, the performance becomes irrelevant, because to lose 3-0 is unacceptable for us at this moment in time.
In what way is unacceptable? Just the result, or is it parts of the performance?
Bits of everything. I think if I strip it back and look at first half performance, we created enough chances to be in front in the game, so there's a lot of positives to take from that. The fact we're creating the chances is great, limited them to very little, and then second half to concede straight after half time, which is very avoidable, the goal we lose. I thought there was a softness to the goals we lose. It wasn't just one thing, there was maybe 3 or 4 errors in each move, the actual goals we lose. And then obviously the second goal is just a genuine mistake, which happens in games, of course. And then the reaction from that to go and lose the third goal in the manner we did again, which was so avoidable from the top end of the pitch. There was 3 or 4 things we could have done to affect that better. So there's definitely areas in which we just can't accept the goal, especially the third goal, to go and lose that, because at that point then the game's gone. We huffed and puffed at times with a few more half chances, but the damage had been done by that point. And then there's also an element that thinks when it was 1-0, the chances we created then were a massive chance at 1-0 to make it 1-1. You need to then go and take that chance, and it gives you the opportunity to then kick on again. But I think overall they were just more clinical in their box and defended the box better than we did, and that's why this result was 3-0.
You mentioned a softness about the goals you lost. How much of a concern is that for you?
Of course it's a concern. It's a concern when you lose goals. It's not something I've seen a lot of, especially in the games we've played. The fact that, as I say, take the second goal out of it, because that's just a mistake that happens in games, a misplaced pass. But the other ones, straight after half time, the fact that there's 3 or 4 mistakes to lead to that. I say it all the time, don't let one mistake become 2 mistakes, because 3 mistakes usually results in a goal, and I think that was evident today, what you see.
Does that result in performance sort of show that there's still more work to be done in terms of players coming in?
I think there's more work to be done all the time. I think regardless of players coming in, regardless of any of that, I think the squad and performance that we had, especially first half, showed that what was on the pitch and what was in the squad today was good enough. I think we just need to be better in both boxes. I think, as I said, I'd be much more concerned if we weren't creating any chances. We did have plenty of chances that we created. We just need to be more clinical when they do come, because at this level you're not going to get 5, 6, 7 chances to convert, and that was evident today again.
What can you tell us about the VAR situation?
Listen, the referee was very clear. Unfortunately, it failed a couple of times, and they'd kept updating us on what the situation was. I don't know, there's certain cameras weren't working at certain times, and he basically just said to me, Stephen, about the protocol that needed to be followed, and that's what happened with that. That had absolutely no reflection on what happened in the second half, because at the end of the day it was the same for both teams. So as far as I'm concerned, the hands were kind of tied on that situation.
What side of you did the players see?
Well, listen, I think that's something that stays between me and the players. I don't think that's got anything to do with anybody else. I think it's pretty clear from the feeling in the dressing room after the game, as we all know, that that's not good enough. I think that's a reflection moment moving forward. The standards that we've set already in pre-season, the standards and we talk about and the expectations of this football club, we fell below in the second half, and that's something we need to rectify very quickly, because it doesn't get any easier in the coming weeks, that's for sure.
How important is it that the confidence and belief doesn't dip this early on?
I think it's obviously very important. It doesn't dip, but at the same time it's very hard to take. I'm trying to be positive, put a positive spin on some of the things today, but it's very hard to be positive when you lose the game in the manner you did. When you look at the scoreline, to lose 3-0, as I've already touched on, is difficult to take and unacceptable, to be honest. But I think once you come in on Monday morning, we come in and we reflect and reassess it. It's about only one of the things you can affect, which is how can we get better moving forward, and that's where the focus needs to be now.